It's Monday, the best day of the week. The markets are open once again. Hey guys, my name is Fabio and welcome back to another beautiful day here in Amsterdam where we're going to be analyzing all your favorite Forex pairs and of course gold. So we're going to start off here with EURUSD on the weekly time frame and we're going to just simply dive in. So Euro dollar has played out to absolute perfection last week. We can very clearly see that overall we saw a strong weekly bullish candle close, indicating to me that we're going to see some potential further upside on EURUSD in the coming weeks to see. So overall, remember we had a weekly area where we had a change of character on top of. We saw a push down, a retracement, a push down, then we had a break up. This then becomes your overall weekly area of demand, as I've been saying for a few weeks already. And then obviously we retraced all the way back down in towards daily demand. That was pretty much the extreme daily demand. And then from there we saw a beautiful V-shaped reversal back up in towards the highs. So I am looking for some upside continuation this week here on EURUSD. I want to see this weekly bump in the road get taken out. Why this weekly bump in the road? Well, because this for me is weekly liquidity. Overall market structure here on the weekly time frame is looking absolute prime for further upside. We saw a change of character bullish, and now we're going to be targeting this liquidity high here on the short term, which is your buy side liquidity. Now, what is the daily time frame showing us? Is the daily also ready to look for further upside? Well, in my opinion, it is. At the moment, we have entered this key level of support and resistance, as we can very clearly see. Here we had support, here we had support, here we had resistance, and now again, we're finding some resistance. So it's not strange if the market were to pull back overall. What we've now seen here is a daily change of character, guys. So this is a daily change of character. Why is this a change of character? Because we saw a push down, retracement, push down, retracement, push down, but then it failed to establish a new lower low. We break that high, and now overall what has happened is that we've broken this high and we're therefore now bullish. This now means that the black line here is your fractal low, and this pretty much here is your fractal high. So what I'm now looking for here is a retracement on the daily time frame back down into where? In towards this imbalance candle, and this imbalance candle can be seen as an area of demand because it broke market structure, and then from there I'll be looking for some further upside once again. So today, tomorrow, maybe some further downside on EURUSD, and then I'll be looking for some lower time frame bullish confirmation inside that daily area of demand to then look for another potential long position. So that's what I have for EURUSD there. Going into the lower time frame, obviously last week we were very accurate with the overall analysis. We can see that we had an overall downtrend, retracement, downtrend, and then a break of structure in towards the highs. We had that retracement. Here we got into longs, here we got into more longs, and then obviously we played the overall trend up higher. So now we have an internal trend here forming as well with the push up, the retracement, the push up. So again, it's not strange if we do start retracing again on EURUSD, and then once we hit that daily area of demand, I'll be looking for some further upside. Now zooming in here on the 4-hour time frame, what can we see? Well, we can see that we have a fresh area of demand open over here. So this demand zone, and then we have a liquidity low positioned right above it. So I'm looking for that to get taken out, and only then will I be interested in further longs from Euro USD. Okay, so that's what I have there for you guys on Euro dollar. Going into the dollar index also makes sense to push up a little bit higher once again. Remember last week we were again very on point with the overall analysis and the fact that we had, let's say, this overall 4-hour trend line here on the dollar. So we had a 1, a 2, and then we had a third trend line touch. And then obviously here you have that bullish candlestick. A lot of people getting into longs, stop loss where? Well, underneath this second low, and then eventually they all get stopped out. So beautiful price action there. And what I'm now looking for is just further downside continuation, but it wouldn't be strange if we see a short-term pullback, definitely. For now, this here is your daily fractal high, so the high of this doji candle, and as long as that high is respected, I will be looking for further downside. This here was a beautiful liquidation event, so a lot of institutions getting into the market over there causes a daily fractal structure shift. Here we have a second daily fractal structure shift. So for myself, 2 breaks is always bearish confirmation. Therefore, this is now a strong high, this blue line over here. I'm now simply just looking for the follow through in towards the downside. Either we see a retracement back up in towards supply and then the sell-off, or we just selling off straight away in towards the downside from here. I don't really care, but in both instances, am I expecting some further downside? Going into the weekly time frame here as well, the weekly has also broken another fractal structure. So here, this over here has been broken. The first time that we broke fractal structure was over here. So we came in towards the upside with an uptrend here, push up, push down, push down, push up. So here we had the fractal low that got broken here, push down, retracement all the way back up, and now we're going to push down, breaking once again market structure. Therefore, this is now your weekly area of supply that is in control, and I'm still expecting further downside as long as that weekly high holds. And the next target is obviously this liquidity low over here for the dollar. So that's what I'm looking to get hit next. This is pretty much also kind of like a key level of support and resistance. This is then pretty much your fake out on that support and resistance level with a bullish candlestick where again a lot of people go long. So now just looking to take out the stop losses which are positioned underneath this low over here. Okay, so that's the trade that I have for the dollar. Going into AUDUSD. AUDUSD obviously also then interested in potential further upside. AUDUSD overall the best trade of them all last week. What we had here was a range, right? So we have the range, then we have here buy side liquidity with the range high, here sell side liquidity with the range low. We trade from liquidity to liquidity. So as you can see in both instances, for here we liquidate the range high, here we liquidate the range low. So now obviously looking for some further upside once again. So now let's have a look at the daily time frame, what we can find. So here on the daily time frame, obviously the overall target got completed last week with this being your area of consolidation, and then we were just trading from this liquidation wick back up in towards this range high. Target overall completed, so I hope some of you were able to capitalize on that, but for now the buyers are still in control. And what I want to show you here is the different situations where we had that liquidation. So here we had liquidation with that wick, here we had liquidation with that wick, here we had a liquidation with that wick, and here as well. So every single time that pretty much happens, we see some sort of a V-shaped reversal back in towards the highs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some more follow through from AUDUSD based on what I've seen in previous months / weeks. So therefore overall looking still for some further upside. For now, what is in control? Well, we have this area of daily demand that is in control for now. This here is your immediate demand zone that is in control, and then this here is your current fractal low that should be respected. So that dot over there. So as long as that dot is respected, I'll be looking for further upside, maybe some short-term downside from this supply zone, and then I'll be looking for bullish confirmation inside of that demand zone. So preferably I would see something like this happen on AUDUSD. Obviously we could just start pushing up higher. We have a lot of highs over here which I want to get taken out. All of these descending highs, that's his, let's say line, or this curved line, but either it happens just by the market pushing up higher aggressively, or we'll see a nicer pullback in towards the downside, which is obviously preferable with EURUSD leading the way, because EURUSD will lead the way on these dollar pairs in my opinion. Going into GU, I'm also looking for some further upside back up into where? Well, first of all, here into the weekly bump in the road. So overall, what has happened last week is that we've seen a weekly change of character. We got a push down, pull back, push down, and now a push up. Change of character is this black line over here. So change of character has now taken place, and therefore we've now gotten this weekly imbalance as your area of demand. So looking for a retracement into that weekly area of demand to trade GU back up in towards this liquidity high and in towards this overall weekly area of supply. Then I go into the daily time frame because I want to take these trades on the daily and the 4 hour. And then I see, okay, we can refine that weekly demand zone into what? Into the most recent sell before the buy, which we have situated over here. So that is this. This is your sell before the buy up. So I'm looking to trade in line with that, because also very clearly here we have the push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, and now I'm just looking for the next push down to then trade it back up again. So again, if we just draw in the fib retracement tool, looking pretty much just for that 0.5 fib to take place. And then look for longs inside of there. And as you can see, the 0.5 fib aligns beautifully with this imbalance candle over here, which should act as an area of demand. Still a lot of descending highs here. That's this curved line, and looking to take out all those highs and trade this back up into pretty much 1.28100. So yeah, looking for those potential longs on GU. But then again, preferably I would see a short-term retracement before getting into any longs. Yes, the 4 hour fractal structure here is in control, but it's not a very high probability zone. So preferably we'll see some short-term downside and then see the market structure shift and then further upside again. Obviously we can just keep on pushing up higher, guys, don't forget that, but I'll still just be waiting for a nicer pullback before getting into any new trades here on GU. So that's what I'm looking for on pound dollar. Then we have NZDUSD. So what is NZDUSD doing? NZDUSD has also broken up in towards the upside. Again, very, very simple. Daily fractal structure shift here, bullish. So we get the push down, pull back, push down. Here, liquidation event, very similar to this one over here. And then we get the upside continuation. So now what I'm just simply looking for is that after this liquidation took place, we're now looking just to see that upside continuation as we've had an overextended move in towards the downside. And the dollar index also still looks good to drop further. Obviously, if the dollar index drops, that would mean NZDUSD up. So for now, this here is your sub for the buy up, which broke market structure. And therefore, this is now also your fractal low here, the low of this bearish candle. So as long as that low is respected, we should continue up higher. And then again, I'm just looking for a retracement into the overall order flow before then looking for further upside back up pretty much into this blue box over here. So that's what I'm looking for on NZDUSD for now, guys. Very, very simple. Zoom out into the weekly time frame as well. A weekly change of character also occurred, and this is also your weekly sell before the buy. So we also have weekly demand. So for myself, it's very, very nice to see here. We have weekly demand zones, we have daily demand zones, all nice and fresh and clean to trade from, back up in towards the highs, in my opinion. So I'll definitely be looking for that further upside on NZDUSD, with pretty much the first target being this weekly area of supply at around 0.58. So that's NZDUSD. Overall, last week, the analysis played out to absolute perfection. As you all know, we were looking to pretty much trade back up to the high of this overall range after liquidating the low of the range. There was also a very nice trade on the 1 hour time frame that you could have taken, and which occurred down over here, where you got a change of character, because we got the push down, push up, change of character. This is fractal high, this is fractal low. Here we have equal highs, which were still open as liquidity. Here we liquidate the low. If you remember, I think it was Friday or Thursday's analysis, I was expecting further upside. And then here, change of character back in towards the upside. We formed a 1 hour demand zone over here. And then from there, we just shot up into the absolute sky. So extremely clean price action on NZDUSD as well. So yeah, just beautiful overall. Looking for that further upside on NU still, but we could see some short-term downside, which is again perfectly fine, as will only provide us with better opportunities to go long. Simply draw in the fib over here on the daily fractal structure, and then we'll see we're looking pretty much for a retracement exactly into this refined little sell before the buy over here. And then last of all, we have, of course, have gold. So gold sold off a little bit harder than I expected personally. I'm not a big gold trader, if I'm very honest. Not my favorite pair to trade, but I know a lot of you look at it yourself. So a massive liquidation event probably has to do with the fact that there were a lot of rumors about Russia and America deciding to have peace with the situation concerning Ukraine. So that has obviously helped gold dump in towards downside. And then very simply said, we pretty much just have a liquidation event on the lower time frame, where you have pretty much all of these ascending lows here, which needed to get taken out at some point in time. And then it happened very aggressively. And now we've refined, or this refined area of demand has now kind of pushed the market back up higher again. Overall, I would, let's say, stay out of gold just a little bit longer. It is still a little bit or slightly unclear what it wants to do. Preferably, I would even see a little bit more downside from gold, a little bit more liquidations happen. Overall, I would like to see a retracement a little bit deeper, but I'm just looking and keep my eyes open. For example, this weekly imbalance over here, that would be a nice area to retrace in towards before looking for some further upside once again. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. Or we need to develop some order flow today and some cleaner structure in the form of, let's say, a little uptrend here where we get this happening and going on, and then we can look for longs once again, but I'll wait for that to develop. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to join the Discord, free link in the description down below, and thanks for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day.